I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a problem, but that don't mean money will solve them. No, that don't mean money will.
Ladies and gentlemen, this SB Twiz, the Hood Blogger. We back with another one. I must say, this is the original gangster of comedy, as we all know, man. You know, at the end of the day, a lot of us saw this man, come up from the Def Jam era. We seen him starring in Paper Soldiers. The list goes on. You know what I'm talking about. So, ladies and gentlemen, give a big up to Capone, the gangster comedian in the building. What's going on, Capone?
What's up, SB? How you doing, brother?
Nothing much, man. I'm hanging in there, and like I said, man, it's an honor to have you on the show. Much love and respect for helping out a younger up and coming brother like me coming up and really watching you on TV. Like this is like mind blowing, man. So I can't thank you enough for that, Capone. I really appreciate it, brother.
Back at you, man. Back at you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it.
Thank you, Capone. Appreciate it. But I don't want to waste too much of your time, so I'm gonna get straight into it, Capone. Like,
go.
How was life growing up in the Bronx?
I guess the best way to describe it, it was great. And the reason I say it was great because when you're young, you don't know anything about the lavish stuff or all the stuff that we know now. So for me to have a mother that made sure that I had everything that I needed to have, it was a great thing. You don't appreciate it until you get older and see her struggle. So yeah, it was a beautiful life.
That's true. I understand that. I definitely understand that. Like, at what age did you start taking comedy serious?
I don't know what age it was, but I know it was in '92. That's when I started.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a long time, brother.
Yeah, I remember being young and seeing you like doing the Def Jams and all of that, man. Those were real legendary. Like, how did the Def Jam come about? Like, was it like, did you go on audition? How did that come about?
Well, when you make a name for yourself in comedy, you don't have to look for things; they look for you. So the great thing about with me, when I first started, there was guys who actually was doing it, doing Def Jam before me, and I came to the producer Bob Sumner, who had auditions, and for some reason he didn't think I was ready, and they turned me down the first cycle. So when the second cycle came out, I became one of the headliners, and it was history from there, man.
Wow.
Just all about giving up.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. And one thing that blew my mind, because I'm 33, so I was there to witness your whole career as acting and being a comedian. But what blew my mind is that what a lot of people might not know is that you actually used to rap. That you used to rap at one point.
Yeah.
How did that come about? I didn't mean to cut you off, Capone.
I said I still throw a rhyme here and there just to
really.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's love.
Yeah, I mean I'm old school. They consider me old school now, but man, this new rap I can't take to.
I can't take it either, and I'm a younger breed. I can't take it.
I'm the goddamn Grandmaster Caz, Melly Mel, and KRS One. Those are my dudes.
So when you were young and rapping and coming up, how was life? Because you were still in high school, Capone.
Yeah.
Like how was it coming in high school and still got music out? Like, how was life then?
Yeah, well, the good thing is I went to a good high school. I went to art and design, and met a brother named the Microphone Prince, who till this day he's still putting out music. And the good thing about that, man, is that you only become old if you listen to people what they say. Like, Rakim could make an album right now, still sell. Uh, Nas can do it. LL can do it. So, it's just about feeling free and stop worrying about. The day you stop worrying about people's opinion is the day you will always be successful.
Wow, that's deep. Yeah, that's deep, and that's very factual. And also, a lot of times, like we say, old school, and I like to just call it, it's the roots. It's the
Right.
roots of hip hop. You know what I'm talking about? Your era and things of that nature. Y'all created a path for younger brothers now. And what y'all didn't have that a lot of people have nowadays is social media, where a person can go viral overnight. Like they don't put in the same work that y'all had to put in to get. You know what I'm talking about? It was a big thing getting the deal back in the day. Nowadays, it'd be rappers that be on the radio that you never heard of a day in your life. Like, wow, where this guy come from, man? So much salute to y'all, man.
Thank you, brother.
Welcome. Was there any artists that you got to work with that you were fans of when or that you even had a chance to be around during your rap career?
My rap career, I was around everybody because everybody, it was totally different. And rap was love. I got to be friends with all of them, Melly Mel, Grandmaster Caz, and those were like the heaviest hitters in rap back then. And, so it wasn't looked at as now how people act like stars and all of this Hollywood shit. It's totally different. And so I can say I've been around them all. But rap was not my career. It was something that I did in high school. I actually was in the movie Beach Street, and the rest was, went from there.
Wow, that's heavy. That's heavy right there. That's a beautiful thing, man. And another thing that I gotta salute you for is, a lot of, you know, um, a lot of, let's say, black people, come from the streets and the struggle where you might not have had a lot of food in your fridge and things of that nature, but you were actually in the streets and got up out of that. Like, that's a major, major accomplishment, because we all know that's hard to do. You know what
Right.
I mean? So at what point did you realize, you know what? I'm done with hustling. I'm done with the streets and everything. What point led you to realizing to take your career serious?
Listening to older people, which the two older people were my mother and my grandmother. My mother was a hustler. And the one thing she always told me is, if you're going to do it, I can't stop you from doing it. But I'm going to show you how to do it for yourself. And so that's how that happened. My grandmother was the one who said, you have way more talent. That money that you're making is temporary and it doesn't last forever. Use your talent and let that become your success story. And that's what I listened to. And besides prison, going to jail, it was enough to tell me that that's not what I wanted to do. The gratifications you get, you meet the little chicks, you buy little nice cars, but you don't learn nothing. You don't learn nothing until you hit rock bottom. And that's when the real strategic story comes together in being successful, because you have peer pressure from the streets, you have peer pressure from your friends. For me to change from the streets to a comedian, it almost seems like a joke. Even the girl that I was living with at the time, my kid's mother, she looked at me like I was a failure. You need to just go back and get a package. And I'm glad that I didn't let that peer pressure get to me. And so I moved on and I never looked back.
Wow, that's heavy, man. And that's out of just watching you from your career and things of that. That's one of the biggest things about your career that give like a brother like me motivation. Because I'm a convicted felon, man.
Right.
I came home 2009 November, and since then I've been having jobs and stuff in the past, and you know how it is trying to make ends meet. But
Right.
people around me, family members and things of that, was like, you got potential for something else. So I kind of had like a tragic life growing up. So I'm like, let me put it in film. You know what I mean? And that's what I was talking to you about. And
Right.
I'm not super professional, but I'm going to get there eventually. I'm not going to give up. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the people, all my homies and stuff, long story short, you know how it is in the hood. You know what I mean? You try to get scripts together, but people do support the idea. I just don't have, the professional help and things of that nature. But I'm gonna get there because I study every day. Every day I gotta learn at least 2 things. You know what I mean? Investing back in my equipment and everything, and things of that nature. So, salute to you for your career, because you'd be surprised on how many young brothers around the world and sisters that people like you give motivation to
Right.
let us know that we have a chance, that it's not over for us. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
the great thing is that you said you're learning every day. And, there's certain things that we're taught, there's certain things that we're told. And a lot of things that we're taught and told are not beneficial to people of color. And I'm not a religious person at all. I'm very spiritual. And I just started getting into manifesting in crystals. And I've learned that you can do anything. You can get anything you want as long as you manifest it and bring it to life. All of this energy, and from the streets you get negative energy, from your friends you get negative energy. So it's a constant growing process of trying to keep yourself positive. Negative is always there. It's going to always be there. So to train yourself to become positive with your thought process, with your work ethics, and all of those different type of things is what creates success. Even in relationships, you could be the best, greatest man in the world, and a woman will find something wrong with you. You cannot bring nobody happiness until you discover happiness within yourself. And
wow,
that's every religion, brother. Anything that you do in life has to come from a happy place.
There's a thin line between life and death. An SV Twiz film that shows the truth about what's going on in the hood.
I'm telling bro, I can't go like this. So yeah, cousin, if you're gonna be able to help me out with this job, like I need this one real bad. Like I'm not trying.
You've seen the rest. Now it's time to see the best. Starring Vodka 1000 Proof and SV Twiz.
Real nice one, like
A hood drama that shows you the meaning of money, power, and respect. Torn apart.
Yo, you really doing your thing with that girl.
Like, what's up, nigga? I can't call it, bro. Hey, yo.
Watch it now on YouTube at Life with the Philly Fam.